give me.
Yeah.
But all right. So on to the last topic. Y'all gonna have to tell me about Deviation Games. Let me know what's the lowdown on Deviation.
So I'll say what I know, and then Sir Knight can go on his part. But this is a new studio that was founded by two, I guess I could call them veterans, gaming veterans from the
not
Black
war
Ops.
veterans.
Yeah, sorry, not war veterans. No, gaming veterans from the Black Ops series of Call of Duty.
Oh, so they practically are like war veterans then.
Well, and Black Ops is the most beloved of all the Call of Duties. But anyways,
Right.
I still like the OG, the Modern
well,
Warfare.
I'm talking, yeah.
But yeah, you're
Modern
right.
Warfare.
That
just
and,
by the communities. I said by the communities.
yeah, that was a great. But yeah, anyways,
People love to call it Black Ops.
they were involved in, I think, the original Black Ops and maybe the Black Ops afterwards. But
They're involved with Treyarch. Let's just put it
yes,
like
they're
that.
from Treyarch. One was from I think he worked on the zombies portion, and the other one kind of led just the general story campaign.
Okay.
But these are like the directors of those.
Yeah, they're like
things.
the
Yeah.
top dogs of those
They
two
weren't just,
areas.
like, members of the team.
Yeah.
Like,
They
were
weren't
like,
devs, they were
yeah.
like directors of that.
Okay.
So their visions are going to come out to make a new game in the Deviation Games studios. We assume it's a first-person shooter, but I don't think they announced any details on what type
No
of games.
details.
But you just assume two Call of Duty guys probably going to make a first-person shooter. But that's all I know. I think you mentioned something about... I think there's some other details you have.
Well,
Right?
for one, they're up to like 100 members. This development studio.
Holy
Okay.
cow.
It's big.
So they're still considered indie though.
Is it in?
I think they've maybe
At 100, that's
at 100.
indie.
That's
101
probably
had
indie.
like
You're right.
100.
You're right.
Yeah, but they're growing. I think they're trying to add more. But
Okay.
like they're already up to that mark.
Yeah.
So they're growing, and I think they're trying to get to AAA, and they're going to put AAA money into it. And the cool thing is they partner with Sony, so it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh well, I think that would pretty much make
And-
them a AAA at that point, right?
Well, yeah, once
Getting
they
the
partner
backing
with
of Sony,
and that makes them AAA.
maybe.
But Sony's always had a difficulty trying to find a vein of in this, first-person shooter kind of first-person shooter world. Can you think of any like Sony exclusive that's been like
They're
a
all
Killzone?
great certain great
none of them are-
first-person
Resistance?
shooter? Yeah, Resistance is the only one I could think of, and that's not even considered one of the greats. But that's
Is
like
Killzone
the only
a
one.
PlayStation
Killzone is too, but it's
exclusive?
not
Yeah.
good. It's not very
Yeah,
good,
Yeah. What else did they have? That's pretty much it, man.
right? Where of course Microsoft has always been kind of at the forefront of shooters.
Farpoint.
Farpoint was not considered a great one though.
Farpoint got like nice.
That was a
That was a
VR.
PSVR though.
Yeah. I'm talking about the general public,
Just regular.
multiplayer first-person shooter games.
Okay.
Sony's had a hard time. That's one area Sony's had a hard time getting a hit in.
Right.
Like Microsoft has its hits in that realm. Sony has seemed to never been able to get
freaking
a hit
Nintendo
there.
had some hits.
Yeah, and so I'm just
What should
thinking.
you say? Had?
Well, I mean, like Spelunky was
Splatoon.
Spelunky.
Splatoon was pretty popular.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
first
okay.
person.
like
You're
that.
right. You're right.
It's just Sony just hasn't been able to break into this realm very well. They tried with a couple, but they've never really taken.
Yeah.
And so this is a big deal in that regard because this is like a big one. This is like a big, AAA level talent that they're getting, and they're getting it. And I think they're going to own the IP of it. And
And you guys are focusing mainly on like exclusives, right? That's
this is
what
going to
you
be
mean?
exclusive.
Like, because Splatoon is an exclusive for
I'm focusing on
Nintendo.
exclusives.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, okay,
exclusives.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm not talking about because every system can play the great
Like
first
Apex and all that stuff.
Apex
yeah.
and
All right,
Call of Duty
continue.
and stuff.
My bad.
But this will be like exclusive to Sony. Wow, that's gonna be like hopefully Call of Duty level quality shooter. Wow, like that's why I'm like pretty blown away by it. But what's shoot, I was forgetting where my train of thought was going with the Deviant Games. Well, I forgot where my train of thought was going. But basically, Sony is going to be getting their first ever exclusive first-person shooter to their system. Oh, that's where my train of thought was going. This is like the poor man's way of buying IPs or buying studios, right?
Because you
Where
start with a small one and
yeah,
have
you just
them
like
build up.
partner with a group, give them backing, give them credibility, give them some money in exchange for like an IP that hasn't been tested yet. Where Microsoft is going just buying tested, tried and true IPs and studios.
I don't know if I want to say poor man's way, but I'd say
It's kind of
I'd say
not
a
poor,
strategic
but
way.
in relatively speaking, because Sony's poor relative to Microsoft.
Yeah,
Relative to Microsoft, Sony's poor.
That's like when you invest in something before it's
Well, we
renowned.
saw that,
Yes.
You
that
get it at the
Sony's
bottom.
revenue was
Yes,
like at
you
the
get it at
top
the
of the
bottom.
chain.
Yeah.
No, but the money that Sony has versus the money that Microsoft. Remember, Microsoft's a $1 trillion company.
Mm-hmm.
Sony's
How
nothing
much
like
money
that.
is Sony worth?
Sony is probably a couple $100 billion,
Hmm.
which is like drastically smaller than Microsoft. So yes, it's not poor, but I'm just saying, in the relative of who you're competing against, Microsoft, right, has tens of billions of dollars just cash on hand. Sony doesn't have barely anything cash on hand. They probably got hundreds of millions, but not billions.
Yeah.
Right? So in comparison to Microsoft, they're poor. But this is a clever, smart way, like you said, jump in early before
Yep.
it's known. And you're taking a little risk, but you have very good talent that
Yeah.
you are pretty confident are going to deliver.
Oh, yeah.
And now you've cheaply acquired a very valuable IP. And so
Yep.
I think that is the route Sony has to go. And that's a smart route. Did you say smart or
I said it was like a strategic
route? It's a smart
Oh,
way
yeah.
to compete with someone who has a heck of a lot more money than you.
Mm-hmm.
It's very smart when you don't have the money to compete with Microsoft, who's just buying up IPs.
And you build I feel like you would build a lot of loyal developers that will always come back to your platform to keep making something, regardless if the money looks good somewhere else, because you were the one that gave them the start. You know what I mean? Like, I decided to break away from a big company like Treyarch to start a smaller company with me and like a couple other dudes. And yeah, my name holds enough clout to be able to bring in a bunch of other people, but we still need some backing, some money, some support. And you're willing to do that, like, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying?
They both benefit.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, even though they're giving
Sony's
going
gonna collect on the back end.
yeah,
for sure.
they're giving away an IP, but it's worth it, man, because you make a name and you
And
become
they're not
powerful.
Who's giving away the IP? What do you mean?
Deviation is giving away their IP to Sony.
Oh, so
But
Sony
Sony's-
will own the IP.
Yeah, Sony will
but
own the IP.
They're going to produce
They're developing it.
Okay.
And it's coming from their studio, and it proves their studio.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be great from that point on. So it's worth it to them. Both are benefiting.
I think it gets bought after
The question
this.
I wanted to ask you, though, was, Sony just gobbles
If it's
them up.
good, I
Yeah.
think I just get purchased.
The question I
after
wanted to
that.
ask you, is it too soon? Because clearly this game's years away. Whatever they're making, it's years away. Is this too soon to announce this partnership?
Nah.
Because will we forget about them by the time we start 2 years from now? What are they gaining by telling us now their partnership versus a year from now, and our game comes out next year?
I think it's just a battle of Phil Spencer. You
Oh,
know? They got
okay.
sad that Phil Spencer
That's-
talked
yeah,
crap,
that's
so they're
probably
like,
true.
"Hey, we got some studio, we got some
Yeah,
other
or
things."
just an answer like to Bethesda. Hey, look at guys, we're doing things too. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I could see it being a benefit for Sony. And the way that I would see it being a benefit for Sony, right, is if you're looking at like stocks, like how much their stock value may be worth. If there's talk of a group of people that could produce possibly Call of Duty quality stuff or even better, and it's strictly a Sony's IP. So Sony will own this, and they'll have this on their thing. Maybe it makes their stock
adds
rise
value,
a little bit.
adds a little value to their
Because
name. Yeah.
Call of Duty is something
But-
big. So if you're adding
Yeah.
a game that's as good as Call of Duty, they have this IP, and they can get anybody they want to work on it.
It's
After
promising.
after
It's very
Deviation,
promising.
they
It
can
add
always
value.
make it better.
Yeah.
You know. So
So
I don't know.
It's
Maybe.
probably multifaceted, but I definitely
trying to
think
think
it
something
definitely,
else.
it's multifaceted. That's probably
Yeah,
one
for
of the
sure.
reasons.
Yeah.
But definitely, they need answers, right? They need answers. What's cool too, when I saw this too, is like it's so funny for a console and a company that's not at E3. They seem to be at E3 a lot.
They just like throwing their news out on the
It's
on the
so
floor.
funny, right? For a company and console that's not even showing up to E3, they seem to be at the center of the
Seem to be
conversation,
making the
dude,
headlines.
all the time. I think it's just funny to me. Like Death Stranding Director's Cut, that was announced. That's a PlayStation exclusive, and it's just
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
it's so funny. Everything is like Sony centric, and they're not even there. It just cracks
Yeah.
me up.
Hey, so how do you feel since we speaking about that? How do you feel about the little cussing that they showed us for Death Stranding? It just
Confused?
looked like I was like, okay, are they doing like Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah, it's clearly
and then
not
they're
Metal Gear
adding
Solid.
they're adding the character from Death Stranding.
No, this was Death Stranding. This is the game Death Stranding with
So
added.
they're gonna add a Metal Gear
content.
Solid
features,
aspect
yeah.
to it.
Yeah,
or
it's got
something?
added content and
Yeah, yeah.
features. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
So
They didn't, but what was weird, they didn't show us what you're gonna do with that.
Yeah.
Nah, they just showed the box thing, which obviously brings
It's
you
a
Metal
it's
Gear
a
Solid
nod
in
to
your
Metal Gear
head.
Solid. Yeah.
When
But-
you go in the box.
Yeah,
Talking
to-
about hiding
it's a
it,
stealth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except
I remember
I
that.
thought that the box, like, I thought you put the box on top of you,
Not
or like
inside.
you close the lid.
Yeah, and you move in it. You can like slide.
Right,
in
there's like
it.
a
But
wall
he
you can
just
see
jumped
through.
in that
He just
bitch and
sat in
sat
it.
there crouched. Like, the fuck
That's
is
what I'm
you
saying.
doing?
It's
Get out,
confused.
dude.
It is
Go shoot
confused.
those guys
It is
or something.
confusing,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I don't know. But
But
it was
let me
good.
ask you:
But
neither-
anyways.
none of us played Death Stranding. Does a director's cut make you feel like I'm gonna
Fuck
try
no.
it now?
Yeah.
Is it 20?
Because I think I told you guys I wanted to try
so
it.
funny, man.
But I still want to try it. Anthony G,
It
you're going to
does-
hate this.
it
I'm going
does
to add
make
it.
me-
It's
You
on my
add it
game
to the
list.
list?
I mean, yeah, it's on my list. Like, you know, people who read a lot, like my wife, she has a list of books. Like,
Yeah.
she updates on her phone.
She gonna eventually
so
get
it's
to
normal
him.
to anyone who
Yeah,
likes
I have a
things.
game list.
Yeah, I mean,
He was just talking about how long your list was, because
I have
you got
a
about
list.
like 20 or 30 of them on the
Hey,
list.
man,
Well, you gotta, what are you
everyone's-
supposed to do?
You gotta start somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
you have that many games to play. What are you supposed
I
to
mean,
do?
you gotta tell him,
dude,
man.
you know
I
how
don't
many
know what you're
you know how
supposed to
many
do.
games are in existence? Like,
There's a
yeah.
lot.
and
What
I
does
play
he recommend Mark
I play
do?
any games going all the way back to the Game Boy. So
He probably recommend what he do. He don't got no list because he take forever to play the games. So, is it why make a list? You just get to him when you get
I
to
don't
him.
know, man.
You know what I mean? I
Well,
think he
you gotta
got
remember.
whatever he
There's
bought.
a lot
That's
to
the
remember,
list.
man.
yeah, there's a lot of games. So I have a list, and Death Stranding is on the bottom of that list, by the way.
My
So-
question: do you actually got a list, or
Mhm.
you just got like a mental note of some things? Like, did you write something down?
Probably on his phone.
I,
right?
I have a computer.
like, an
I have
actual list,
on my
a
desktop.
note
I have a
list?
list on my
I
notepad.
have
Okay.
notes on my phone
Of everything you want?
of the games I want to play. Yeah,
Yeah.
I put movies on that too. I have a movie
Yeah.
list that movies I want to see.
Yeah.
I forget,
I
man.
should
I have
create-
so many things to think about.
Yeah.
I should create a list, but I feel like it's much more of a surprise when I go, oh yeah, I remember that shit. That came out like a while. Oh damn, it's 20. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
I have a list
it's
for
like you
TV
redropped the gear.
shows and for games.
Movies. I do movies.
Okay.
I have TV. I
Yeah.
have video games.
Because my coworkers used to always like
recommend stuff
recommend
for you.
things, and then they're like, "Remember,
I got a
recommend this
book
too." I was
list.
like, "Really?" Yeah, booklets. My wife
Well,
has.
it kind of
Yeah,
does the
yeah.
same thing. Like once I've run out of games to play,
You looking on
Yeah.
the list.
I
to see
cancel the
what's
list,
next.
and then
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah. So I
Forgot
kind of
about
get that feeling. That's the one I wanted to play.
Exactly.
I
And
just get the
remember.
feeling when I see a sale, and I be like, "Oh shit, I never did play that game." Let me
It
buy
is
this
fun when you
thing,
go to the
yeah.
GameStop and you're browsing. You're like, oh, that's right. That's the one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
I need
Yeah.
a list to remember, man.
I only do the list now because I used to do that window shopping of games,
Uh-huh.
and as a result, on Steam I have
Mad in your
100,
my wish
200
list.
games. No, I have 100, 200 games I never played on my Steam account.
Ah,
And
damn.
then-
Because you just
Because
purchased
I'm just
them.
like, oh, there's a sale, summer sale. This sounds
Uh-huh.
good. Scoop, scoop,
Yeah, me
scoop.
too,
Oh,
Mark.
80% off.
Me
And I
too,
never
Mark.
play it.
I have a few games on my Steam that I've never played before. And I
So
bought 'em.
I don't do that anymore. I literally, games that people tell me, hey, play this, I play those.
Okay,
'Cause
Anthony
otherwise-
G. In the comments below, put your game list on there. if
Hey,
you
Anthony
got
G, I'm
one.
going to make a game list for you, man.
What stuff you need to play?
Yeah, you
Get off
need-
that
all you
damn
need to
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw him playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, he's still on that.
Bro, did you
shit.
play Valhalla yet? Because I played Valhalla. I'm just kidding.
Dude, Odyssey is incredible. That's my favorite one.
It's
Shit,
I
my
heard it's a
second
good
favorite.
game. I can't say it's a good game because I haven't tried it, but if it's anything as good as Valhalla,
It's better
I would
than
agree
Valhalla.
that it's
Yeah.
good.
Better.
You think it's better than
Better.
Valhalla?
Better.
Mm,
And I've played them both.
damn. Okay.
You need to get on it, bro. You're going to really like it.
yeah,
It has
I
the
gotta-
ship battles,
I have to
man.
find a drought. I have to
That's
find
basically
another
why I
time
like
where
it
it's
better.
drought.
It has the ship. A
Oh,
custom
so they
ship.
let you fight on the water?
Yeah, water combat.
Black Flag style?
Yeah, Black Flag style. And you have the open seas to sell, just like Black Flag, where Valhalla is just rivers.
Right.
You have the open sea, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. And you can't even fight on the boat.
No, Valhalla
On,
can't do
Valhalla.
no boat combat.
It's just
Yeah.
for travel.
Just for
That's it.
traveling. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so Deviation Games, the studio, I'm looking to hear more
Sony
about
making
them.
moves.
I don't know if we're gonna hear anything else from them this year.
Not
I
till
think
their
everything
games.
is gonna
Not
be
till
like
their-
Probably
not till
not.
they have something to
next
show.
year or something like that. Towards
Until
the
they have
very
something to
end.
show, right?
Yeah.
Next year,
Yeah.
maybe 2 years from now.
Right. I wonder
I'm
if
thinking a
they'll be able to
2024
like.
release date of their game.
I
Probably.
wonder if they'll be quick with the assets and stuff like that to be able to put something together fairly quick. Because of what they've worked on.
Well, they have
Or
Sony
if-
back in
or
there
if
now. They
they
can have
can.
all the time they need.
Yeah.
All the money they need for the most part.
Yeah, for sure.
They're good.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they create and then what
Definitely.
this means, for
Yeah.
Sony as far as this goes. They
Definitely.
have this IP, like where they're gonna go for it. That was another thing that I wanted to mention about Elden Ring is that when they were discussing Elden Ring, they were saying that this wasn't just like gonna stop at the game, like that
Sequels
they
and
were
stuff?
gonna do a lot more with it. So I don't know
I'm
if
so
like
excited
maybe
for
like
Elden Ring.
some type of
Can't
a
even tell you.
mobile version or something like that, you know, like some different aspects going on here. But it definitely seems like they got big plans for this title. So I don't know if that's
Give us a show or something.
just because of like
book.
It could very well be a
give me
show.
a book, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you know, but I mean, you got George R. R. Martin, so you got
Yeah.
everything that he's capable of doing. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So who knows if he's written like 4 or 5 books just based upon this world, you know, and what they're gonna do with that. It would be kind of interesting to get a novel of this game of Elden Ring.
That would be dope.
You know, to be able to put
That's what I'm saying.
alongside
Give
of
me
the
a
video
book,
game
man.
after you've played
Heck
the video
yeah.
game. You know,
And then
so
you
that
like,
you get more insight
and
on
then
what
you
happened
read it.
through
It
the
makes
game.
you want to go back and play it, like
Yeah.
to see the things you didn't realize.
Right. You know,
Totally.
so
That'd be dope.
that's cool. But that's all we got for you guys this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Again, if you're listening, we've been dropping our podcast on Podbean for quite a while, but I think we are going to switch from there, from Podbean to Acast, and all the shit on Podbean seems to just disappear once I cancel. So if you guys would like to still listen, you can always go to our YouTube channel, check that out, just play it in the background while you're moving around and doing whatever you're doing. That also helps us out. Yeah, Patreon links in the description. We also got shirts available. We waiting on our samples to come through, so we can put them on. But we'll be wearing them probably next episode. I think they should be here tomorrow or whatnot, so you guys can see them.
Heck yeah.
If you want. Yeah, we'll catch you guys next week with a whole lot of E3
Next
shit.
week's big,
I don't even know
fellas.
how we're gonna fit it all in the episode.
It's gonna be
this
huge.
episode is long as hell. The other one you might be looking at a 4. We might
The
do like
next
a
one's
part
gonna
2
be
or something.
big,
I don't
man.
know. Man.
Yeah.
We'll try not to do y'all too bad. We
Enjoy
might
the
not
week.
even talk about what we played.
Enjoy
And
the
then
week,
just talk about
everybody.
E3 and
Enjoy
stuff
it.
like
Enjoy
that.
the week, everybody.
But yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. Deuces.
Peace.
See ya.
I love you, me.